Hi, I'm RJ Lowry, founder and CIO, that's Chief Image Officer of Your Expert Image and creator of Biz Image 1.0, where we help business people understand the importance of their image so that one, they'll be perceived the way they want to be, two, they'll gain higher levels of self-confidence, and three, they'll attract greater levels of success in all areas of their life. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a couple different things with you. The first thing I'll cover is the one thing that I did every single day to have my best year in sales ever. From fall of 2009 to fall of 2010, I had my best year ever in arguably some of the worst economic times since, as we've all heard, the Great Depression. And then the second thing I'm going to cover with you is my 3 transformational truths. And this is where we're going to be really getting into a mindset that one must have to be able to thrive in today's economy as opposed to just trying to survive, which is where a lot of us are at. So I'm going to talk about this in just a second, but the first thing I want to do is I want to share with you just a little bit about the benefits and the excitement and the enthusiasm behind what we can share with you today. And the point is, the point I have for you is there's a lot of things that one can learn. There's so much opportunity that is available right now that if we can just change up our mindset, if we can learn to think a little bit differently, because I'm hearing, yes, as I've mentioned, it is tough times and there are folks that are down, and I do get that. But there are also people that are thriving in today's economy. There are people that, in the last 12 months since I had that record year, I've actually set out to study some of the top people in CEOs and entrepreneurs and business owners and thought leaders and organizations, both profit and nonprofit, that are succeeding. And I've really had an incredible opportunity to sit just 1 or 2 rows in huge seminars from some of the most successful entrepreneurs and thought leaders that our world has to offer. And I've found that they all have a common thread of success, and I am going to share that with you. So I want you to know that there are people figuring out a way to succeed in today's economy, and I believe you can do it too. And it doesn't matter what you sell, doesn't matter what your business is, doesn't even matter necessarily what you do, but it's some decisions and a mindset that you need to have to be able to succeed in today's new economy, because it is a new economy. So a little bit about myself. Now, I was a top producing image consultant in the custom clothing industry, and I also had the opportunity to lead some incredible people and help them achieve great levels of success. But I will tell you this, in 2008 and 2009, at least the first half or 3/4 of 2009, I was just like everybody else. I was getting caught up with what was on the news, and I was listening to a lot of the talk show hosts, and honestly, I was buying into the gloom and doom that we were hearing everywhere we went. And I mean, it was every conversation. It was each time I'd meet a new client, it's, oh man, this is going on, that's going on. And we'd go out socially and we'd do something, and oh man, it's just so bad and sky's falling in. I mean, it literally, and I'm not discrediting the fact that these have been incredibly tough times. And if you've gone through some incredibly tough times, please don't take what I'm saying as, I empathize with you is what I want you to know. And I will tell you that in 2008 and 2009, I had decent years, but they certainly weren't my best years ever. And so I want to share with you what I ended up doing and some things that I ended up having to think about and change in regards to my mindset to be able to achieve my best year ever. So before I get into that, I will tell you that what I'm about to share with you, you probably, when you hear it, you're going to go, that's it? That's the one thing you did, RJ? Because what I'm about ready to show you, the reality is it is profound and also at the same time, huh? Is that right? Because I will tell you this, I've heard people say statements like this to me in the past, and when I heard it, I was like, that's all you did? It's got to be more than that. It's got to be more difficult than that. It's got to be tougher than that. And I will tell you from living example is that what I did underneath this red sheet, I did it every single day, and I believed it. And I believed that it would work for me. And even at the times where my belief would waver a touch, is I would change. I'd go back to the mindset that I'll share with you in the 3 transformational truths, and I would reset myself and make sure that I was intentional and that daily I did this. So understand, profound, also like, So maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't. There's a chance you have, but I want to encourage you to internalize this and make a decision today that you're going to have your best year in the next 12 months. All right, so you ready for it? Here we go. The one thing I did every day to have my best sales year ever. I spoke it into existence. So we've heard people say things like this before. And I know I've got some people, RJ, are you a name it and claim it guy? Are you the secret guy? You buying into that? I want to share with you the positives behind this. And the fact is that it is a reality that this does work. So let me play it out for you just a little bit. There have been times in the past where I'd say, I'm going to do great. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to work really hard. But my brain was not able to lock onto something specific. And our brain needs to be able to lock onto something specific to have it, because the example I like to use is that if you picture a 10-speed bike that's in between, and again, I don't even have a bike right now, it's unfortunate, but when I was a kid, I remember when the 10-speed bikes came out, I'm dating myself a little bit, but if you were in between 5th and 6th gear, or in between 7th and 8th gear, it did this kind of, do you know that? You know what I'm talking about, when you're in between gears, and then all of a sudden you click it just a little bit more, and it's like, and then the power starts happening at the higher gear. And that is what I'm talking about, is our brain has to have something specific. So when I just said, I'm going to work really, really hard, I'm going to do my best, my brain couldn't attach to it. Understand that when you choose to be specific and intentional with what your goal is, and my goal was best year ever. Best year ever. That was specific. Best year ever. I said it every single day. Matter of fact, I said it, I'd see a client, RJ, how things going? Oh man, you wouldn't believe it if I told you I'm in the middle of my best year ever. And you know what? Some people might even be listening right now and you go, well, if you aren't technically there in your sales yet, wouldn't that mean that you're lying? Well, first of all, what is your definition of best year ever? That could mean happiness. That could mean joy. That could mean peace. Does it have to mean that your sales are up? But now, again, I was doing it for the purposes of best year ever in sales, but you wouldn't believe that that time from fall of 2009 to fall of 2010 actually was my best year ever in so many different ways besides sales. And maybe at another point, I'll go into some of the details of that. So I want you to understand the concept of being specific, being intentional, and doing something every single day. And I want to tell you what the payoffs are for that. The payoffs for you, if you are intentional and you do something daily and you're specific about what you do and you truly learn the concept of speaking your success into existence, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. And I had a chance to meet Dean Graziosi and hear him speak. He's that guy on television that is knocking it out of the park with real estate right now. And he's on TV. We've all seen his commercials. And I mean, just absolutely blowing it out of the way. In the real estate business, this is one of the toughest times ever in the real estate business. I've had an opportunity to hear David Bach speak live, and he's the guy that's the money guy that's had 9 New York Times bestsellers. I mean, this guy's absolutely writing books right now. A lot of people say it's a tough time to write books and release books. No, he's figured out a way to make it in these economic times, and I believe you can too. A couple other, Chalene Johnson, had an opportunity to hear Chalene Johnson speak. She was the gal that was the turbo jam. My wife, when I came home and said, hey, I met Chalene Johnson, she was incredible, and she's like, you met Chalene Johnson? And I'm like, yeah, you know her? She's like, got every one of her DVDs. I think she's the top selling female infomercial lady in the world. And she's now moved from fitness, she still does fitness, but now she's doing self-development, personal development stuff. But the whole point is, in these economic times, the people that are intentional and specific, they figure out a way and they decide that I'm not going to participate in the recession. That's the decision I made. I'm not going to participate in the recession. I'm just choosing to ignore what's going on. So when I was speaking to clients, guess what? Having my best year ever. And you wouldn't believe it, but it happened. And I was so blown away. And I looked back and I went, oh my gosh. Every day I talked about this. Every person I spoke to. Now, I didn't say it cocky. I didn't say it arrogantly. I didn't say that kind of stuff. But I was able to communicate it in a way that it also swelled enthusiasm with the people that I was with, because they were saying, I'm not hearing that from anybody else. Wow, what do you credit it to? And so I want to share with you the mindset that I had once I made the decision that I was going to do this every day, and once I made the decision that I was going to speak it into existence. What was the mindset that then had to carry on from there? And I'll tell you, this is what it is. 3 transformational truths that I held near and dear to my heart during those times. And I know that all these people I've been studying for the last 12 months since I had that best year ever, it was the common thread that was weaving through the top business owners, CEOs, and entrepreneurs, and thought leaders, and salespeople, and leaders. These are the 3 truths that they end up holding as well close to their heart, and they remind themselves on a daily basis. The first one: nobody's going to do it for you. And I know there might be some folks that go, oh, I'm shutting off the tape. That's not what I wanted to hear, RJ. Nobody's going to do it for me. You know, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but that is the case. You know, the economy is not going to turn around for you. Your boss, if you don't change anything, your boss is not going to just come in and say, oh, I want to promote you. Your clients aren't going to just come to you and go, you know what, I like you, so I just want to buy more clothing. Or I just want to buy more widgets. Or I just want to buy more of whatever your product is. It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to do it for you. You're the one that's going to have to do it. You're going to be the one to make that decision and decide and be specific. And I've also talked about how our image needs to be congruent with the message that we're sending. So you've got to be putting forth a image that is in line with the message that you have. And that message should be, this is my year. This is my time. This is my chance to step out and to break out and to be different than everybody else that's out there in the world right now. And you can do it. You can do it. And you know what? That's number 2. You can do this. Okay? Some people are waiting. They just need to hear. They need to hear from, the powers to be. They need to be knighted. Guess what? I knight thee right now. You can do this. And that this can be whatever you choose it to be within reason. Okay? If you're 5 foot tall and you're 47 years old and, you're built like me, you're probably not going to be able to go be in the NBA. Okay? So when I say within reason, I'm talking about in your current chosen field or with a business that you've started, whatever it may be, if you set your mind to it and you're specific and you speak it on a daily basis and you share it and you get people swelled in enthusiasm and emotion to help you be a part of it, you can do what it is that you set out to do. And I'm encouraging you to think about your best year ever. Thirdly, the third truth is you're gonna need help. We were not built to go this alone. These economic times have stretched a lot of us. It has truly made a number of us, they say that character isn't made during adversity. It is actually seen and it is uncovered and it comes forth in adversity. So you are going to need help. This isn't the type of thing that you can just go it alone. And I want to share with you that if you are the type of person that is a loner and says, I'm going to figure out a way, I'm going to figure out a way, I'm going to figure out a way, you need to find some key people in your life, not a ton of them, that you share with them what your goals are. I believe in sharing your goals with people, but don't share your accomplishments I'll share my goals to more people than I will my accomplishments. And I'd encourage you to do that as well. But you are going to need a select group of people, and that's your family or loved ones, some key people, not Negative Nellie, not your Aunt Negative Nellie, not her, but the people that believe in you and know that you have the ability to do something. They're always behind you. Share the goals that you have for this next 12 months, share it with them and ask them to hold you accountable. You've got to do that. And then secondly, not only do you need people in your life, there might be some of your clients that you can share that with too, but you need help in regards to getting additional information. And what I mean by that is personal development. There's a lot of people that will say, hey, I'm just going to put my nose to the grindstone. And what happens is they don't read any of the new books that are out on economic times and how to operate differently in the economic times. They aren't listening to the CDs or watching the DVDs of the people that are succeeding in today's economy. We are in a new world, guys. It's different than it used to be, and we're operating differently, and you've got to be with the times. So that is, if you can understand and implement and internalize that nobody is going to do it for you. And then secondly, you can make the decision, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. There's been something in your life that you've had a success in the past. Maybe it's been multiple successes, but you got to stop looking back and wanting to wish it was the way it was, maybe 06 or 07 or even prior to that. No, make a decision, I can do this. And then lastly is make the decision to get the help of those that love you, that respect you, and then go out and get help from those that are experts. And so buy some CDs or DVDs or go online and get some online products of people that are succeeding, or go to seminars. I'm going to talk about a seminar event that's coming up on October 28th that I'd like to share some more details with you on. That is our Biz Image 1.0 seminar. And we're going to share with you some more information on what you can do to survive and then on top of that thrive in today's economy. So I want to wrap up with just a few things here. There are some serious payoffs to adapting this mindset. The payoffs, I want you to think with me for just a second. I'm closing my eyes because this helps me for just a second. I want you to think about what would it be like if you had your best year in the next 12 months. What would the stress level be like? In most cases, even though you'd be producing at a higher level, in most cases your stress will be down. Your peace level would be up. Wouldn't that be great? What about your joy? What about your enthusiasm? At a whole new level. Think of the impact that you would have on people. Think of the influence that you would have. And I also want you to think about what the income could be like. It could be at a whole different level. I've seen people have their income go up 50% and 100% and above just by making some small decisions and then internalizing them. So I have a challenge for you. I don't know what your specific decision is, and I know you've probably got one in your head right now that's kind of bouncing around in your head and you're going, oh man, should I commit to that? Should I decide to do that? I want you to take a minute right now and write down what it is you're going to do in the next 12 months, and then make a decision that you're going to speak that every day. I want you to also then go to a couple folks and share that goal with them and ask for their help to hold you accountable. But my challenge to you is make a decision today of what you're going to do in the next 12 months. My recommendation would be best year ever. If I could do it as I did from fall of 2009 to 2010, you can do it too. So make that decision, whatever your specific goal is, share it with some other folks, ask for accountability, and then make a decision to start studying and getting information and reading books and listening to CDs and watching DVDs and going to seminars. So if you'll do those things, I can assure you, you'd have one of the most amazing years of your life. And I believe that is possible for you. Now, I want to preview what we're going to cover in the next video. The next video, I'm going to talk about the 3 core components of image. And I think a lot of you know that I am the image guy, and one of the big things that I like to share is intentionality and congruency. And I'm going to talk about and teach you exactly the core components of image and what you can do to make sure that your image is matching the message that you want to send. And as I mentioned, you've got to have the mindset part right before we get into these technical aspects of what you can do with your image. And just as a reminder, image isn't just about it isn't just about clothing. It isn't just about, your dress or your appearance. There's a number of aspects of it, but I've got it boiled down to just 3 things, and we're going to cover that in the next video. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to put down a few notes on what this video made you think about, and what are some of your goals, and just write some comments in the Facebook comment spot just down below this video. And I want you to do that, and then think about what you're going to do for the next 12 months. I believe this could be an incredible year for you. I believe that you can achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And I want to lastly encourage you to remember that you never get a second chance to make a first impression.